The teacher's final lesson. This happened at the retirement dinner for Mrs. Brennan, a beloved high school English teacher who had served for 40 years. The gym was packed with former students, colleagues, and parents, all giving heartwarming speeches about how she changed their lives. Everything was going smoothly until Karen Walsh, a woman known to everyone at the school, stood up in the back. She had a look of disgust and waited for a gap in the speeches. Holding her wine glass, Karen said loudly, "I don't know what all the fuss is about. I pulled my son out of your class because you weren't challenging him. He got straight A's after that." The entire room went dead silent. People froze mid-chew. Mrs. Brennan, seated at the front table, simply smiled. She showed no anger or embarrassment. "Yes, Karen. I remember your son very well," Mrs. Brennan said calmly, standing up. "Dylan, right?" Karen nodded, clearly believing she had won the moment. Mrs. Brennan continued, her voice clear. "He plagiarized an entire essay from Wikipedia. Word for word. I gave him a 0 and you came into the principal's office screaming that I was discriminating against him. You threw such a fit that the superintendent made me apologize to you in front of other parents." Karen's face started turning pink. She opened her mouth but no words came out. Mrs. Brennan wasn't finished. "I also later found out your husband wrote that essay. The principal told me after you left, your son didn't even copy it himself. You had your husband do his homework for him." A quiet, "Oh damn," went through the crowd. Karen was now frozen, holding her wine glass like a statue. "By the way," Mrs. Brennan added, still polite, "did Dylan ever graduate college? Last I heard he got expelled from state for cheating there too. Academic dishonesty, I believe they called it." Karen finally stammered, That's not fair. You can't just." Before she could finish, Mr. Fletcher, the principal who had just retired the year before, stood up. He was a big guy with a deep voice whom everyone respected. "Let's be honest, Karen," Mr. Fletcher said firmly. "You weren't protecting your son's education. You were protecting your ego. I signed off on that apology Mrs. Brennan had to give you, and I regretted it every day since. She was right and we all knew it." Karen slowly sat back down, her face bright red. She stared at her plate, wishing she could disappear. The room was silent for a few seconds. Then one person started clapping for Mrs. Brennan. Then everyone joined in. Mrs. Brennan raised her glass toward Karen's table and said softly, "Some lessons take longer to learn than others." Karen did not say another word for the rest of the dinner and left early without saying goodbye to anyone.